Mama Maria? It was the small boy again. Yes, sweetheart. Why do you help us? The question hung in the air. Maria knelt beside him, because every child deserves love. But you're not our real mother. Maria smiled softly. Love doesn't need to be real or fake, she said gently. It just needs to be given. Richard felt a lump rise in his throat. Inside the room, the children eventually finished their homework. Maria helped them arrange blankets across the floor. Time for bed, she whispered. The kids curled up together. One little girl grabbed Maria's hand before closing her eyes. Will you stay tonight? Maria brushed her hair back. I will stay until you fall asleep. The girl smiled sleepily. Within minutes, the room became quiet. Soft breathing filled the air. Maria sat beside them, watching over the sleeping children. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then slowly, she leaned back against the wall. Her shoulders sagged with exhaustion, and something else happened. Tears rolled silently down her cheeks. Outside the door, Richard felt his own eyes burning. He had followed his maid tonight expecting secrets, maybe lies, maybe betrayal. Instead, he had discovered something else entirely, something that shook him to his core. The richest man in the city stood there in silence, watching a woman who earned barely enough to survive give everything she had to children who weren't even her own. And for the first time in years, Richard Sterling felt his heart break. But what he didn't know yet was that the real story was only beginning. The next morning, Richard was quiet at breakfast, his mind racing. He couldn't stop thinking about what he had seen. Maria, his maid, a woman he had never truly understood. Her compassion, her selflessness. He knew she worked hard, but what she did at night, it was beyond anything he had imagined. Something had to be done. But what? As he sat at the dining table, Richard glanced out the window toward his mansion's pristine lawn, the sparkling pool, and the gleaming marble floors of his house. His mansion had everything: luxury, comfort. But outside in the city, children like the ones Maria cared for struggled to survive. How had he missed it? Later that day,